What's up, everybody? We're back for another episode of Grits Co. As you know, we are centered around amplifying the voices of Black queer men raised in the South, hence gays raised in the South. Today, we have an amazing guest, but before I do that, let's get into the host. We have Julian Holland, Tadian Page, myself, Earl Martin, and our fabulous, amazing guest, the actor, the producer, the author, Quentin Harris, that you all may know from Chasing Atlanta and producing Chasing LA. Quentin, how are you feeling?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for that amazing intro. I was just like, okay, give me more.
I do what I can. I gotta get you ready.
How's
we
it going,
only
guys?
read what was there, so that's all you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that intro. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Tell the people, how would you describe yourself in 5 words before we really dive deep?
Ooh, describe myself in 5 words. I would say I'm very, I'm driven. I'm determined. I am. Oh my gosh, I'm running to a brick wall right now because so much is coming to me. I'm a leader.
Okay.
I am a philanthropist.
Amen.
And a fifth one. Give me one. So much is coming to me. What have y'all, since I've been here in 5 minutes, socialite, I'll take that. Socialite?
Are you?
Not really a socialite.
Well,
I'll take
that
it.
word.
I don't like
Throw it out of
influencer.
here. Yeah.
Influencer.
A mover and a shaker.
A mover and a shaker. That was 2, but I'll take it. That's why I was like, so much was coming to me. Like, what would I call myself? I don't try to, be boastful, but I'm like, what? A mover and a shaker. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
I'll give that one to you too. It's because of you I'm here, so thank you.
Come on now, clock that too.
Thank you for the intro. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
We have a good time.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about a very important topic.
Okay, let me sit back.
Yeah, I'm excited to jump in. To Earl's point, like this is something we really wanted to talk about and really dive in, particularly around love, but queer love. And what does that look like, and the beauty of that as well. But to kind of get us started, we kind of do this rapid fire thing just to kind of break the ice.
Okay.
So we know you're from the South as
From the
well. North Carolina, we'll talk more about that in a second.
Yes.
But thinking of the South, what is your favorite Southern dish, rapid fire style?
Ooh, my favorite Southern dish. I love some good homemade macaroni and cheese.
Come on.
All day.
Come
If you
on.
can
I
make
knew my type
some
of people.
homemade macaroni and cheese, and I mean the right way, the North Carolina way,
Oh, we from South
like
Carolina.
you got me. Well, I mean the Carolinas is all in one.
Yes.
It's all one. The Carolinas is all one. So yeah, I think that's probably like I cannot wait till somebody make me some while I'm home this week. So that's probably my favorite dish, and I can eat a whole pan. That's why it's my the entire dish.
Yeah.
I can eat the entire pan. Yeah.
Literally more than you know. I am right there with
Too
you.
much at
right there
times.
with you.
Okay.
I love that. My favorite food ever.
Mine too.
Outside
Oh
of French fries.
Mine too.
What's your birthday?
I'm April 16th.
Does it make you an Aries?
I'm an Aries.
Oh,
Oh,
Aries as
wow.
well?
Are you as well?
This is the
Oh,
second
my little
Aries.
Christian spirit right here. Let's toast to this evening.
Yes, to that.
Everybody,
Oh,
let's
sorry.
toast. See, I
But
was
look
just
in
leaving
the
out.
eyes. Look in the eyes.
All of that. I don't need no bad 6. Okay, we about to get into love right now.
Okay, second rapid fire question to you. So, all from the church, grew up in the church as well. We'll get there as well.
Okay.
When I think of the Southern Black Church,
Mm-hmm.
3 songs on that playlist that comes to mind.
Oh, I'm going to say you got to throw some John P. Key in there. Everything's going to be all right. We got to throw that in there. Let me see. Somebody else from North Carolina. You got to throw some Tasha Cobbs in there because she's in Charlotte right now. So you can throw any one of Tasha songs in there. And my Todd Galbraith.
Okay.
You know, Todd Galbraith and I
love
are from
Todd.
the same home city, so I have to throw some Todd Galbraith on my.
I love Todd.
And what's the home city?
Raeford, North Carolina. Okay.
Population of
25.
So he's from Dillon.
Shout out to my
Listen.
people. Oh, I know what Dillon is.
Yeah, but I actually did some research before. Dillon has 6,000 people, which is very small, but Raeford has 4,000.
Wow.
So like,
Really?
yeah,
It hasn't grown?
Well,
It's like
according to Miss Google.
Wow, I just feel like it's been like on such a it's coming up right now, like because a lot of military people are coming here. I would think the numbers are bigger, but hey, it is Raeford. I mean, that's a big.
Is that based off the last census though?
Last census, yeah.
And
as people come, people also leave.
What do you do? You know a lot of
You stay on that Google.
Okay, you know a lot of facts. Ever since I walked in, you've been saying like different facts and all that type of stuff. So
clock that too. I'm just very inquisitive though.
Don't let me
FBI.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We love that. Don't let me get y'all off because I'm a talker. So
no,
reel me in, y'all.
Listen, we're all same page.
I love y'all energy.
Rapid fire, Julian. What you got?
Oh, Southern Edition. Okay. What's your favorite Southern, like, here we go, actually, Churches, KFC, or Bojangles?
Ooh, I'm a 90s baby. KFC.
Okay.
That popcorn
KFC, all of it, yes. And they done got rid of the potato wedges.
They did.
Really?
They got the crinkle fries.
What is that?
Crinkle fries.
If y'all don't go take that over to Arby's, right?
I don't know.
Arby's in business.
I always wonder,
but I don't go to KFC to get curly fries. No Sade, because I got a bag of Arby's fries in my freezer right now in Cali waiting on me. I love them. However, I don't go to KFC for that. Air fryer down.
Yeah. I'm with
But
you.
KFC all day.
KFC?
I don't like that new Popeye's too greasy. Well, let me not shade nobody. KFC wins.
Wow. Good answer.
We'll take that.
But I'm more like, okay, I don't know about y'all, but like after church, just getting like a little 2-piece and a biscuit from Churches used to be something that me and my family used to do. But I don't know if Churches are more popular. I'm from Sumter, South Carolina. So I
In
feel
Columbia, it wasn't. See, we had Zestos.
I've never heard of that.
It's a Columbia thing.
Okay.
Best fried chicken.
It's a gas station.
No, baby. Hold on, girl.
No.
I know.
Y'all,
Well, you're from a small
I'm from
town.
Columbia.
You
not
know
a
the
small
gas station
town.
got the best chicken.
I'm from the capital.
So what is
The
Zestos?
market.
Like a Popeyes?
It is a franchise.
It's a franchise.
It's a franchise. I've never
It
heard of
almost
this.
just like you can pull up, but like it's legit. Like you go up, it's a window, but they have seating, but like literally ice cream, wings, full menu, but it never gave. No, you can get different desserts. Like you ever seen Rush's?
Yeah. It's like that.
No, better.
Oh, okay.
No. Rush's gives you a little bit more fast food. Zestos it doesn't give that.
I don't know how we got onto a whole food
I'm sorry.
episode.
What's the next question?
I'm curious
Next
about
question,
Zestos
please.
though.
I'm gonna pull it up on the Google for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
My God. Your favorite thing about Atlanta is what?
Oh, the people, black people. Yeah. ATL is so you see black success in your face every day. Like you see wealth. And sometimes it's smoke and mirrors, but it's the first time that it's actually in your face. Sometimes they scam to get it, but it's still in your face. So that's what I love about Atlanta. Atlanta just taught me how, like, to, confidence is everything. And, it's okay to be wealthy. So that's the thing about Atlanta. It just taught me how to be blackity black and be in love with it.
And wealth and confidence.
Yeah, definitely ATL.
Yeah. I have appreciation for ATL as well because after undergrad, I moved down there for a year, and so I felt that same way. Like I was able to really find community and blackness in a different way than I had like in Rock Hill or in South Carolina in general. So yeah, nice.
Okay. You from Rock Hill?
I'm from Sumter, but I went to school. I went to Winthrop.
Okay.
We all did actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
We all met through college actually.
Oh, so beautiful. I'm rekindling with my high school besties this weekend.
Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, so I love this.
I love that.
Good.
Last rapid fire for the group before we hop in.
Okay.
When I think of queer love, I think of ...
When I think of queer love, I think of boldness. I think of strong. I think of soft. Yeah, I think of I feel warm when I talk about love. You know how my whole mood just changed? So yeah, when I think queer love, I just think all those things.
Comfort. I'm gonna go with you with being bold, courageous,
Mm-hmm.
and beauty.
Courageous was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What about you, Julian?
Yeah.
Sit in it.
I'm
Sit in
screaming
it.
right now.
For so many reasons right now.
Somebody was on that.
Hey.
Somebody was on your mind.
Hey, he
on your mind. You went to come back.
Like that too.
Yeah.
I done got hot.
Me too.
Yeah, I think queer love, queer black love.
Did you just quiver your voice?
Let him sit in it. Ooh.
Yeah, I think that it's revolutionary, right? It's an act of defiance, but an act of choosing yourself. And I think it is natural.
I like the word.
I like natural.
Yeah, I'm with like a vulnerable. I think it is expression. I think it is truth. And when I think of queer love, I think of home. Yeah.
So we ready to dive in.
Let's talk about it.
So let's go on back to Raeford.
Okay.
Tell us, what were the dreams of baby Quentin?
Ooh.
In
Baby
Raeford, North Carolina.
Baby Quentin always wanted to be in some type of capacity on television.
Okay.
I didn't know at the time I wanted to be in the arts, but from the time I can remember me yelling into the microphone at church for the first time, Happy Easter, from that moment, it was kind of like, this is what I was born to do. And I never knew how I was going to get here, how I was going to do it. I just always knew, like, I used to study the Tyler Perry plays. Like, I was one of those who knew all the characters. I knew your lines. I knew your notes. I knew your placement.
Yeah.
Like, I just always knew I wanted to be working in the entertainment business since, like, forever. So that's always been my dream. Yeah.
I love that. Going back to that as well, you talked about church, and I know church was a huge part for you. As I mentioned, I'm a preacher's kid. Julian's a preacher's kid. Growing up with such religious roots, particularly here in the South, deep South, how has that experience shaped you, particularly as it relates to like your queerness?
Growing up in the South, in the church South, or just South?
Both.
Ooh. How has the South shaped my queerness? I'll answer that one first. The South has made me everything. Like, when I walk in the room, you can tell I'm Southern down. You can tell, he's from the country. Because my personality, I come and I speak, especially being in a place like California, a lot of Californians, them heifers is mean.
Yeah.
And they ain't gonna speak to you, they ain't gonna say good morning, they not gonna do none of that. When people come on this, sets and stuff, it's real like, all that. And then I come in, I'm like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? I'm giving hugs and all that. So, yeah, that Southern charm, like, and that Southern charm has gotten me in so many doors. Because I'm a talker, I'm like you, and, I'm a networker. I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. I don't care who it is. Yeah. I'm going to go, hello, how you doing? And we're going to go there. So, the South has shaped my queerness because it has it just gave me my sauce.
Yeah.
It just gave me my sauce, and it works for me.
And did you always going back to younger, have you always embraced it and known it to be like a superpower, or were there moments growing up that you feel like there wasn't space for you to be all of that in the South?
Yeah, I've kind of always been the same. I've always made people laugh. My mom can come in here right now. She will tell you, I was that kid that would sit up like during Thanksgiving and have the entire house cracking up because I'm down here singing. I'm acting like Brown and Cora. I'm bouncing down the steps like Medea. Like I was doing something to keep the family laughing. Like my great grandmother, she was really old, and she used to die at me. So I've kind of always been this way.
And was your queerness Like with queerness too? Like was the queerness present in those spaces or no?
I think my little queerness has always peeked his head out. Yeah, my little sass has always been with me, but it was always controlled because, like y'all, I am, deep rooted in the church as well. So you're not gonna be switching, walking up in the church. Yeah. So there were certain things that I had to kind of hone in on, but I also knew this is me.
Yeah.
And there were certain things, I had hair at one point in time. I remember trying to sing on the praise team. I had a whole mohawk in my head, and it was just certain areas that I had to grow in and be more comfortable. But my queerness has always peeked himself out.
Yeah. Well, did you
had to
recognize that it was queerness? Did you always recognize that it was queerness?
Right. Oh, that's good. No. Yes and no. Okay. Yes and no. No, because I was raised with my grandmother and she was always around a lot of women. And so I kind of did think like my older brother, he went to school and I was always around her. So I picked up a lot of her mannerisms, the way she talked, the way she sassed, the way she walked. So, those type things. So that would be the no. I didn't know what it was. I just was being myself. And because that's what I was around, I just picked up certain habits. And then I would say yes, because, so what was the question again? I want to make sure.
Did you always recognize, like, when you said it peaked out?
Oh,
you
yes.
Know what that was?
No, like I said, no for that, but yes, because I knew when to reel it in. I knew when she was coming out.
She's here.
I know when she was in the room. Yeah. And my grandmother and them did too, and it was like, "Oh, get yourself together." Okay. Yeah.
But at a certain point, like you have to choose yourself.
Oh yeah,
that, right?
Yes.
It's like you know who you are.
Yeah.
And most of us do from a really early age. And I think a lot of the work that we do is like discovering more and more who we actually are through like different stages in life.
Yes.
And so, like even with that. So you wrote a book. You're an author.
I did.
Author Quentin.
Yes.
I'm say I'm an authorist. Girlfriend.
Oh my God, authorist is crazy. What was the name of her book? Oh hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah. And then, oh hell no. She had two chances.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
I had two as well. No shame out
here. So about that, so the dream I chose to chase.
Yes.
Talking about your journey of chasing, finding yourself. Growing outside of Raeford. Finding out what things made that little kid happy. Outside of what the church was telling him to do, what the environment that you were in. When you moved to Atlanta, like, take us back to when you were making that decision to leave your hometown and actually branch out to discover more of who you are without all those environmental factors.
It was such a tough task to leave home because I am a family person and I was so deeply rooted in my church. I was my pastor's assistant. So I was leaving Fayetteville, driving all the way to Shaw U in Raleigh. It's not long, but once you're doing it 2 or 3 times a week, your first time leaving school, that's too much. Like, baby, just go to school. And so it was so tough for me because I just had so much going on. I was like, I don't want to leave. I want to stay with my church. But I knew I had to I knew there was more for me. Child, I went to Shaw U. I was there less than 2 weeks. I was there for band camp. And I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I'll tell the story really quickly about how I had a financial aid letter come up under my door. I was like, this is not going to work for me. I don't got no rich parents. This is a private school. Yeah. Not even, I think the next morning I got a email from Tyler Perry Casting to come to Atlanta to be a part of the Have and Have Nots at the time. I was when Benny and the Mama had something going on. I was in that scene. So it was like literally when the show first started. When I got that email, something in that just snapped at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, my first thing is from Tyler Perry. And then I was already back and forth a couple of times. Like, I went like twice because I went to a Cynthia Bailey. She had a casting call at the time. She had the Bailey agency. And I went there and she was like, you're not no model. first of all, you're too short. And she was like, you need to kind of pursue, like radio or hosting or something like that. And so I was like, okay, cool. And when I went back home, and that was always in the back of my mind. When I got that Tyler Perry email, I just up and moved. And that's kind of how it happened. I was afraid I kept being pulled back to Fayetteville when I went to Shaw. And I kept trying to figure out, what is this pull? What is this pull? You're not supposed to be here. And I'm trying to figure out, why am I going all the way back home for Bible study? I don't even like Bible study that much. No shame, Pastor. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. Back then, right? Back then, I wasn't even. I'm not gonna say I wasn't that deep in it, because I was, and I should have been going, but I should have been focused on school. But that pull, I couldn't figure out what that was. Yeah. But when I went to Atlanta, I felt none of that. Yeah. And when I got that email, and stuff just kept going back to back to back, I said, "Okay, God, I hear you. I'm out here. Let's go." Yeah. And that's kind of how it happened.
And that's like what possibility feels like,
Yeah, taking that leap of faith.
Yeah. And you're in it, and think about like that little person who was watching these plays and these stories.
I know. And then for that to be my first thing, I was so excited. Brown and Cora. I know. And I think I remember going there for the first time, and I'll never forget it, seeing Tyler Perry. He has this little scooter bike thing. A lot of people don't see him.
Where is your scooter?
Right. I'm always on time. Like y'all can tell today. Yes. I'm always on time. That's something I've learned. Be on time, praise the Lord. Yeah. I arrived at the studio early, I think. Not y'all, that was a shade,
They not on time.
No. I arrived at the TPS studio a little early. I'm so faith-based, y'all. I'm so churchy. I went out there and prayed on the gate. And I was like, God, listen, before I even walk out here, I remember you order my steps. You let me, guide me. Listen, 10 minutes of me being in that gate, I see Tyler Perry scooting by on this little thing. And I was like one of the only people on like the back of a cart to go over to where I was supposed to be. When I seen that man, I was just like, not like he's some God or something. It just connected. Like I'm supposed to be here. So.
And that's so beautiful. Just want to stop there and like sit with that, right? Because one of the things we often talk about, all of us being from per se smaller towns, but also just a more rural state, if you will. Yeah. Exposure is not always handy and right there. And one of the things I always say by way of my favorite person, Oprah, where you set your intention is where you will land. Yes. And even if I can't touch it or truly see it in the way that I need to see it yet, you, like Earl said, you was already acting out the plays. You were using what you had in the moment, and that made room for where you were going. And I just that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah.
So let's jump back to Atlanta. Okay. The formative years. Okay. Tell me a little bit about. Because I already heard confirmation about you seeing Tyler Perry on the scooter. What other confirmations kind of let you know you're on that right path? Of like, this is what I'm supposed to be and this is the direction I need to be going.
Another one of those right paths, I have to give it up to Cynthia Bailey. When I attended her workshop, she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And I had to go dig and find out what that was. Okay. At the time, she was like, I see you being like a Steve Harvey. She was like, I got a friend. His name is Karamo Brown. Yeah. I didn't know who Karamo Brown was at the time. When I went and found him, a couple of weeks later, I ran into him because I was at all the events in Atlanta. Wow. So I ran into him, and it just was a ripple effect. Yeah. So that was another one, was the Cynthia Bailey thing. Let me see if I can give you another one. Ooh, how I came up with my radio show, Q in the Streets. Yeah. I was at an industry party. I was really sick, and I was like, ooh, I don't, feel like being active, but I do want to go. Long story short, Jermaine Dupri asked because I was doing the red carpet, I was doing the side stuff with like the little talent. Okay. I had went and sat down before all the big celebrities came in and all that type of stuff. Because I was like, I'm not probably gonna get over there. They got Hype Magazine. They got I'm not gonna name it all. They got all these big names. Yeah. Jermaine Dupri walks in, asks me, hey, I just seen you doing interviews over there. Our main person has fell out. Do you mind? At the time, this is when Lotto had won. And they said, he asked me, do you mind interviewing the winner? Oh, wow. She's getting ready to come in and all the press is getting ready to come. Da, 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 da. Do you mind interviewing her. And I was like, oh, no, let me think about it. My friend was beside me. He was like, excuse me, let me talk to you real quick over here. Pull that hair back, get yourself together.
Snatch that wig.
Snatch that wig, put some water on it, shake and go, and let's get it. And that's what I did. And not even 2 weeks later, I had my radio show for 3 years, Q in the Street. Somebody saw me there in that whole moment, not feeling well, interacting with Jermaine Dupri, still going up there to do what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Handled it like a boss. And we had a good time. And yeah, she won that night. It was announced. Her family was there. It was a beautiful night. I didn't stay long after that, but just that moment of me snapping into gear, not taking no, jumping on that opportunity, not thinking twice. I did think twice for a second because I was looking crazy in my head. And my friend was like, you look fine, get it together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that was a big moment. And that was another time somebody saw something in me to put me up. Jermaine Dupri?
Jermaine
D, okay.
Yeah.
So, before we take a quick break, one last part of that question.
Okay.
You went from Raeford to big ol' ATL. And that's a lot of exposure to a lot of different things. So, in learning yourself, finding peace, what boundaries did you have to learn to implement, and what lessons did you have to learn to then implement those boundaries?
The boundaries that I had to implement were, when I first got to Atlanta, is to be disciplined. I saw so many people just outside. And that was fine and dandy. But a lot of my outside was at the events, working and being, working. Yeah. I wasn't just, fighting on Twitter, and that's no shade. And I saw a lot of that in Atlanta, and I just had to separate myself. I was like, I didn't want to be like that. I want to hang around other like-minded individuals. Yeah. I don't want to be out here clowning. I didn't come out here for that. I don't want to be out here doing that. I don't want to be out here popping bottles. That sounds cute, but I ain't got no money to be popping no bottles. Okay. I'm trying to see if Shaw, you still gonna charge me for them 2 weeks. Excuse me. So that was my boundary. And what was the second half of the question?
Just like, what lessons did you have to learn?
Lessons I learned: everybody is not your friend. Everybody's not your friend, and that's okay. And sometimes you can't do business with friends and family. That's probably one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn in ATL, because I was new, so I wanted to work with everybody. Everybody was bro. That's not the case. Yeah. Pay them people, exchange, and go on about your business. I like what you guys said, because this is years of brotherhood, friendship, you know what I'm saying, sacredcy, just, faith, just everything. Yeah. When people not on that same wavelength as you, you're not going to the same spaces. Everybody can't go.
Like you're holding your peach. I just want to just bring us back in with the cheers to really just cheers to your journey and you going with it and being willing to grow as you go. So cheers to you.
Thank you. Grow as you go.
Eyes.
Grow as you go. He ain't got nobody. Okay.
The desert.
And we praise God. Okay,
God, we thank you.
So we're gonna switch gears a little bit here. Take me a sip.
I love grow as you go. I love that. Thank you. Cheers to y'all too.
So switching gears a little bit to
keep going. Sorry, my business brain.
Right. To love. We open up the show talking about queer love. Question for the full group. Okay, we're gonna take you off the hot seat for everyone. Just thinking about our own journeys. What has been your journey and framing of queer love in relation to your own life? So what has shaped that? What is your where do you currently sit with that?
I want to hear from y'all.
I had to say, that's tough.
So it's a constant framing, right? Starting there, but I think what was instrumental in my being happy with how I love was honoring the fact that it is true to me and it's real, it's legitimate, and it's not like all the things that you're told it is. I just really had to divorce myself from this idea that who I am is bad because what I'm doing is considered bad or hellish or demonic by so many people. So that's how I choose to frame it in my mind, as something that is good, that can be beautiful, that adds and creates the life that I want for myself, the life and the family.
You
I'm gonna retweet that.
gonna retweet that? I'm gonna retweet and put a comment.
Yeah.
So for
Quote
me,
tweet.
quote tweet. When I think of love in general, I think I innately deserve it. I think every person deserves love, period. Every person deserves romantic love, friendship, family. And so when I think of it, seeing like what you said, divorcing myself from what I was perceiving love to have to be, today is just like I deserve it and I'm going to get it. And it's going to be intentional and I'm not going to accept less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Retweet.
Yeah,
Put 100 across the top of his retweet. Yeah.
Makes you think about Victor and his episode with him when he said, "I deserve a love that sets the world on fire."
And baby, it's a blaze.
Yeah. Victor Jackson?
Yeah.
That sounds like him.
Yeah.
I'm like, Victor Jackson.
Victor.
I love him. Him and his
Yeah.
fiance now,
Yeah.
Deshaun, have a beautiful example of love. So
Yeah.
shout out to them. I don't want to add too much because I'm a talker, but I deserve love. I feel like I'm walking in love. I am love. My love, I want it to blaze the world on fire.
Yeah.
And I'm intentional about it. And I'm going to get everything that comes with this love, baby. Okay, you see it?
Clock that
Period. Okay?
Bitches is mad.
Whatever that means.
See, exactly what I mean. Right. Literally. Yeah.
Okay. Bling. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Bitch is gonna be mad.
Period.
Well, I mean that we ain't worried about that part because I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah.
I'm about nobody's mad.
You got anything to add?
I don't. I a love that is pure. And yes, I'm good.
So okay, they know I can talk about this all day.
Okay.
There is a lack of black queer love representation in media. The one we had, Jason and Adele, my God, I missed their show. We don't have a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so how does that impact you all, particularly in framing? Because it's hard to frame when I might not have representation.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but a little bit more difficult. So how does that impact y'all?
Yeah.
For me, it impacted me in such a way that I had to go out and create a show to have visibility
You better drop it.
for us to other queers to look at, because there is no black on black, brown on brown. We always get interracial loving in the media, in which we love and respect that. Some people do, some people don't. For me, I love love, period.
Yeah.
But I love black love.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's why I was in a space where I created a show, and I'm in a space I'm going to create a new show where I want to show all different sides of queer love, but I want to show black love.
Yeah.
Because we've seen everything else all the time. It's ran down. It's on every Hallmark card, on every Netflix. When you go to the gay section, every Merry Christmas movie is the black one and the white one. Okay, we get that and we love it. Yeah. But I feel like that's why God brought me into a space like this, is because I can be that person to help put out what's not shown. Yeah. I am God's paintbrush, and we are. Our love of the rainbow deserves to be showcased as well. And so,
I am God's rainbow. I mean,
Paintbrush.
Sorry, child.
The rainbow too.
Yeah.
I like
That's that.
That was deep.
It's a bar.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much.
Well, God, let me be your
It's been fun.
Yeah. God, let me be your Picasso. Please.
Please. God, let me be your Picasso. Yeah, and I just want to, continue to put black gay love out there. And I'll probably, the next time I come back, I know I'll have an announcement to drop. But for right now, just know that I am working on something to showcase black queer, black gay, love. And for our lesbian sisters too, we don't see that. We always see them being interracial. We always see one facade of our sisters or one facade of us as well. And it's like, it's more sides to our rainbow than what y'all are seeing on these TV shows, child. It's more than that. And everything ain't messy.
And
everything ain't drama filled, and we slinging drinks and throwing them.
Be dramatic.
Yeah, and that's what my show is about. I've done the reality TV producing where things get a little crazy, and that's fun. But I left reality TV. I transitioned into a relationship, and my partner was like, "Hey, we don't act like that no more."
Yeah.
And so I kind of took my every day, and I wanted to see myself on screen. I'm like, I'm not even the same reality star I was 5 years ago. Yeah. So what can I do now to showcase me? Just how we feel at home. Like, where am I at on the screen? So I had to create something, and I'm going to create something that is going to showcase positive things about black queer relationships. We are business owners. We are entrepreneurs. We have beautiful families. Everything ain't just, cruising and being on Twitter and all the silly stuff.
Like showing that love doesn't have to be trauma based.
Yeah.
I think a lot of shows or movies, even especially around black love, is always centered around like this trauma happened and then we got to this epic love. It's like, but you actually don't have to have that.
And
it's not monolithic.
Yeah.
And successful love doesn't always, like you say, don't got to go through the turmoil. You do not have to get cheated on to prove your love to somebody. Now, if you choose to stay, that's you and your partner business.
Hello, come on, partner.
That's you and your partner business. But that was so TS. But you don't have to go through those hardships to have true, genuine love.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, I deserve love. And I deserve a peaceful, easy, soft era love. I mean, love me soft. Yeah. Shoot. I'll let you know you love me hard, but okay, but across the board, love doesn't have to be all the things that we've seen.
Yeah, the struggle. Right. And I think also, this platform kind of speaks to that as well. Like what you're doing, what we're doing here on the Grisco, it's like we don't see it represented. Mm-hmm. So I think part of what makes our critique even more valid of what's in the mainstream is the fact that we're doing something about it. The fact that we're putting ourselves out there, putting our money into these things, putting our time, resources, energy into this thing that we want to see, because we know in like real life, what our worlds look like are not shown to us. And I think people deserve to see what it actually looks like to be black and queer, and to grow.
And I want to add something right here too. Yeah. With you guys' platform, what I love about it so much and why I was wanting to come, I love that you guys, yes, we're black, yes, we're queer, yes, all those things, but y'all love God. And I love that y'all are faith-based. That excites me because so many people are afraid to say that I love God and yes, I'm gay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That is so hard, and we come, and I understand it. Our brothers before us, it was hard. Yeah. It was hard, and I understand it's hard for people now. It was hard for me. It's still conversations that I'm still. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic, a whole other conversation. And so it's just like that's what I appreciate and love about y'all. Same thing how y'all feel about me, and in that particular situation, and show platform, I feel the same way about y'all. Thank you. And I'm so happy and proud that y'all are doing this. Y'all gonna, save lives. I was trying to find something else to say, but y'all gonna save lives.
Thank you. And one of the things we always talk about is being the very things we've always needed.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen examples of I get to boldly love God and boldly be gay at the same time. Yeah. And there's room for both to be okay. And I'm loved in both, in the intersection of both.
And who are we hurting? We sit around quoting some housewives, having some champagne, putting out the goodness of God, and, people still got something to say.
Yeah.
Go live y'all life, baby. Yeah. So thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Now let me take over now. What's next? What's the time check?
Well, I have a group question.
Okay.
So, in what ways do you see your personal journeys reflected in the broader narratives of love and acceptance within the Black queer community? So what ways do you see yourselves currently? I know we talked about not really seeing that, but have there been any examples that just resonated with you as a kid? I'll talk about me personally. I remember this moment vividly. I had to have been like in middle or high school. And I remember I used to watch House Hunters all the time at my grandparents' house. And I remember seeing a black gay couple on House Hunters.
Mm.
And one of them actually he actually is from Charleston, South Carolina. And they both lived in Atlanta. And so I remember seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember seeing them on House Hunters. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Let me go ahead and turn this TV. I was like, let me keep my, you know how I used to keep your finger on the previous channel button because you didn't want your family to see like what you was watching.
Oh my Lord!
I used to be terrified.
Had to go through.
What y'all watching?
But I remember just being scared to watch that in my grandparents' house because, like, oh my gosh, if they see me, they're gonna see me looking at these gay people. They'll know that I'm gay, and who knows what'll happen after that.
All the things.
That's a whole thing. Anyway, Juan and G, they were like the first black gay couple that I saw where I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is a thing, and this is a thing not just for sex. This is a thing for love and marriage and having a home, and a family,
and business,
successful
business. They have multiple restaurants.
Not just transactional, but a thing.
It's a real thing, and it's valid. So I remember that, and very few and far between. But that was when I first saw like gay love, same gender love, and I was like, I can do this. So
I have two. I'll make mine quick as well. And I'm processing this in real time. So I have an aunt who's queer, same-sex loving, and her and my other aunt, they've been together my entire life. Like they are still together to this day. They're not married or like unless they are and didn't share it with the family, but they've always just coexisted amongst us, and I've never ever heard them use the words together or relationship or girl, any of it. But it is what it is, right? Yeah. Especially all of our families being preachers and pastors and all the things. They never use that language, but they never stopped showing up. And they never not showed up for each other in those same spaces. Oh. And I need to actually message her tonight and just bring that up. That's making me a little emotional. But since a kid, I've always seen that. And I never seen them other each other because they were in our presence. And I think that's beautiful. And then my brother. And thinking about him, at the time we were younger, so it was more so him like having boyfriends and being grown, but I was like, oh, he having fun, he dating, all the things and being grown. And but I'm appreciative of that example, because I got to know the stories firsthand from him and hear all the things that were transpiring while in middle school and high school as a same-sex loving black man, black boy in the South. And those things shaped me probably far more than I actually probably am processing in this moment. Yeah.
Beautiful. I think Atlanta shaped me. I just got thrown into it. It's crazy you said Juan and G. Is because I remember earlier when I said I went to when I met Carabel Brown. It was at the Juan and G's. You know how they do the gentleman's ball? That was literally I was only there for less than 60 to 90 days. And so I was working. So I saw people that I really did. And I was literally working since the time I got to ATL. So when I went to the gentleman's ball, that was the first time I seen so many black gay couples be out and hold each other's hands and kissing in public and all that stuff. Being from the South, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
Never saw it on TV. So that probably was it. Me thinking back, I'm like, I don't really remember. I made a face. I was like, I don't really remember. I'm my own example. But I think that probably was the first time. ATL exposed you to so much. But that probably was the first time I seen so. And I'm like, y'all going on? This is real life. Y'all can do this.
Yeah. What is going? What? So mine is a little bit different as well. I had where's my mom's first cousin? So they're my cousin as well. They were gay, but it never was said. But it didn't need to be. My mom and them were always super supportive. I knew he had a partner, but I can't really use them. I would say mine were shows. So Noah's Ark, love Noah's Ark down. Karamo don't count. Just I watched him on Real World. He more so gave me like, oh my god, that's a black gay man on TV.
Right.
But I didn't see like a relationship piece. But mine was as I got older and started
Me
traveling,
too.
going to Atlanta, going to DC,
DC,
and being like, oh, the girls are out.
Okay.
And like just really also like shaping my own experiences.
Yep.
Learning some lessons along the way, which is gonna get into this last question. We're gonna get to a little bit. But it was from those experiences.
Yeah. Agreed.
But then like my like, oh my god, this is something I aspire to was Jason and Adele.
Yeah,
Their Netflix, like that really was like, oh my god, y'all are business owners, been married, have an amazing tribe of people, and y'all are on this journey of wanting to have a child. And I was just like, yo.
I'm so upset they didn't get a second season.
Yeah.
Still mad.
But they got Baby Arrow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Get Carlos on the phone.
Immediately.
I mean immediately.
Yeah.
So this last question before we get into more bubbles, please.
Okay.
How do you all navigate the challenges of dating and forming relationships in a region that is not always accepting of our identities?
Travel. Hop on the plane.
No,
Get out of Dodge. You know.
And I think it's the nuance of those two things you just mentioned that makes it more difficult, right? Because you have the dating stuff to navigate regardless of what city you're in.
Correct.
And then you have the nuance of also being in a smaller state, smaller towns, rural area, Bible Belt, all the things that then compounds how those men then show up in that area too. So like
last part.
yeah, so I feel like all of that compounds where you have this situation. For me, to answer the question, the most interesting, difficult challenges for me has been I've attracted and also I've sought after at a certain part of my journey.
Like that trade.
Down low, right? Like I still love a good trade, but like aware, accepting of self-trade, right? But like,
from that trade.
but like younger, it was about the DL. It was about that. I didn't want you to be so aware and accepting of yourself because that would make me come into the light as well. So I found like this boastfulness out of being the most accepting of self in the situation, because then I will always make you have to come up to my level. You didn't challenge me to have to come higher to myself as well. It took some therapy for me to get to that. There's some therapy.
That's the word. You paid her well.
I paid her well.
Okay.
But as I started to process that as I got older, it became more about like, I want you to love me. Like, why can't we go out when it's not dark? Like all the other things. And that oftentimes show up as, you know, married men or like men who are not accepting of themselves, like men who I want you for sex, right? I like to look at your cute face, but like
Past that.
But like that's about all I can offer. And and there's context here. I know the area has a part to do with that. I know the Bible Belt has a part to do with that. I know just where we are in society and timing has a lot to do with that too. So that's been a lot to have to navigate.
Yeah.
In my own personal journey.
That's vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's big.
Who's go next?
That's big. I feel like I've been talking so much.
We've all been talking.
What? No, go ahead.
Please.
Okay.
Have at it.
I'll say the first half is I don't know about dating because I haven't dated in a while. I've actually been in a relationship for 5 years.
We love that.
Been in a relationship for 5 years. So I guess when I did date, I dated with intention. And the second half of the question was, what was it?
Yours is different, but it was talking about like if you're in an area that's not as accepting.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess when I was single, you know, like when I was in North Carolina, it really wasn't the place where I dated openly and all those things. You got to go where you're comfortable, like you said. Travel. It's so many different cultures and the way people do things and all that. All we know is home. If you ain't never been outside of home, that's all you know. So go out and learn something, child. You'll see tail feathers shake in a different way when you go somewhere else.
Come on now.
Press it down.
Okay.
We love a great tail feather.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say for the single people here, date with intentions. My uncle coming out. Yeah, I've been dating. Well, not dating. I've been in a relationship for 5 years. So hopefully I know what the next step is. But I would say date with intention.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the travel. Go where the people are. Go where you feel liberated. Like finding liberation in yourself is important. But then once you're able to find a community or maybe another person who's able to share in your liberation, like if you can find somebody like that, that's where you need to be.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me and my good bestie Courtney, she always talks about, she uses a lot of scenarios around cookies. And I always say, for me, learning that you deserve a whole cookie. You don't deserve crumbs. Don't accept crumbs. So that goes with that intention. But also don't give crumbs out, right? So I'm not going to expect you to give me a whole cookie, and I'm not giving you nothing but crumbs. I have cookies. So do your work.
That's the thing about dating, though. So you got to play that whole figuring out who you give me a whole cookie, you give me half a cookie.
Yeah, and I mean, but I also think
you give me a crumb.
seeing dating,
Is this an Oreo?
Seeing
Girl,
dating
you ain't
as
even
fun,
homemade
though.
bacon.
Yeah, but seeing dating as fun also. Like, I don't date with the idea of like you're supposed to be my partner tomorrow. Like when I go on dates,
that's dangerous.
right? That's hella dangerous and red flags. But even when I work with people, I'm also like, dating should be fun. It's really you just getting to know people. You're gonna date with your friends and I recognize it. So like when I'm dating, I have fun and I don't have this expectation of like, damn, I gotta see you for date number 2. If I know I don't like you that date number 1, we good. And I can keep going.
But that's maturity too.
That's
maturity.
Here we are in the 30s, honey.
Yeah, and I'm about to say it takes
time.
that. I'm about to say take y'all time. It legit takes that. I'm only 30. Yeah, like yeah. But my got an old spirit, so I'm the uncle.
No, I get it. But I was like, okay, I thought we were the same age, but damn.
Yeah, but my partner knew me when I was younger.
Yeah. So he saw the whole evolution.
Yeah, we dated 2 years in Atlanta. They moved to Cali. I was like, I don't do long distance, and I moved out 5 years later, and so it's kind of like they knew me when we dated in Atlanta for 2 years, so it's kind of like 7 years.
But I think that's the beauty, though, like that evolution.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. All right.
More bubbly.
So we
jump
need
in.
to jump to the end of this episode because we can literally keep talking all day. So for those who are watching for the first time, we love to end our shows with a segment called More Bubbles, Please, where we throw out questions that, you can choose to answer or not. And if you choose to not answer, hence the name of the game, More Bubbles, Please. All right.
Okay, now.
So for sake of time, maybe we each just throw out a question. Okay. And see where that gets us.
Okay.
Let's see. You want me to go?
You can go first.
What's the worst date you ever been on?
Rapid fire. Went on this date with this older gentleman, significantly older, at our live show one time. Significantly older, and went to a really nice restaurant. Conversation was great, and the bill came, and his card declined.
Question?
And like I'm cool on it, you know what I mean? I'm like, just swipe it again. That happens to all of us sometimes. Just swipe it again. So I'm just still drinking my drink, and they're like, no, like it didn't go through again. And I'm like, okay, now you're embarrassing me at my favorite restaurant. Like,
not the people know you.
So then I had to end up paying for the bill on a date that he invited me to.
That happens sometimes.
Not on first date, so
I'm trying to get my little pass.
No, I'm not. Like it was our first date. Like to me, my brain, you check those things before. There's respect and grace for come on now, really. But like the reality is, on a first date, I'm good. I will make sure I'm good on that. So I had to end up paying for it, and he used it as an excuse to like make room for another date. So he was like, "Oh, that means you have to go on another date, so I can pay for the next one." I'm good.
Talk about that,
I'm
boo.
good. So it wasn't like a horrible went home crying date.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm good on that.
I'll throw one out there. Do everybody answer?
If you want to.
If you want.
Let's
I'm
keep
going to
it
take
going.
a sip.
Oh, okay.
You gonna sip on your own question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, it just wasn't.
you said it's okay.
Yeah,
It was trash. I let them know it was
Don't even elaborate.
not up to, I end up paying for a portion, which I didn't mind, but it was just very weird from the jump.
Yeah.
There were many red flags, and they thought there would be multiple days afterwards. And my mama, which I'm gonna get on her because I said, girl, I called her because I'm a friend that'll say send an emergency text like, hey, I need to come get my godchild or something. Well, no, I called her after that. I finished the day out. But she's like, well, maybe y'all should meet up the next day. And I was like, no, I don't think so. She's like, I really think you should. And I was just like, I really think I'm content. So I told my mom, I said, not you trying to make me be passive on my boundaries.
And we went to getting crumbs.
And then I went and got ice cream, and I still was like, this is a waste of my damn time. I called her back and said, girl, what's wrong with you?
Oh, you went on the second date.
I went and got ice cream, but I was going 30 minutes because I said me and my friend.
But this was another day, like a whole nother date.
It was the next day.
Okay.
And it was still trash.
Okay.
What
you got?
Oh, my worst date was I took somebody on a date because they remind me of my current partner, and it went all bad. So it was just all bad. I'm not even gonna get into details. I showed up late. It was just bad from the rip. Yeah. And I'm strictly for being on time. I hate it. I was like 30-something minutes late.
Oh damn.
It was bad. Yeah. It was bad. And now that I think about it, it should have went bad. I only went out with this person because they remind me.
Their intentions weren't right.
Their intentions weren't right.
Okay.
So it was a horrible date. And he told me it was a horrible date. Okay. He told me. So that's what, right there. Yeah. At the date, he told me, he's like, this isn't good. Da, da, da. I felt so bad.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, cut you off.
Are you drinking your drink? Or are you...
I've never been on a bad date. Next.
Oh.
What's your question?
Let's check the catalog.
Well, it's been a amazing episode of the G.R.I.T.S Code. I am going to go ahead and close us out because I'm not answering those questions. So where can they check you out? Drop all the things.
You can find me on everything. Just type in Quentin T Harris from YouTube to Instagram to TikTok to Twitter to wherever. I am everywhere. Everything Quentin T Harris.
Okay.
Don't forget that T.
Okay. The T is the T.
And don't worry, because all the links will be down below in the description box. But go ahead, continue to watch all our previous episodes. If you are tuning in now, we are all on now podcast platforms, whether that's Apple, Spotify, all the things. But give us a follow, a share, and go ahead and comment below too.
Thank y'all so much.
Peace.